That's the damn chop the screw version, ain't it?
Dog, it started doing that last week. I was like, yo, is this shit slower than normal? Yeah, but anyway, welcome to Politics Usual, episode 84. What was that, Joey Galloway episode? Or the Chris Webber with the Pistons episode?
Nigga, Randy Moss.
Randy Moss, man.
Oh, damn. Yeah, the Randy Moss episode. I'm tripping. I always associate.
Blasphemous.
I did Randy Moss 81, no 7 Patriots. That's
because I said that was the TO episode. Like,
it's both.
Hey, no matter how we feel about Randy Moss, you always gonna remember that man as a Viking, bro.
Yeah.
Well, maybe as a Patriot. I guess.
I remember him as a Patriot too. Like, it's not that I don't remember him as a Viking, but I remember that nigga as a Patriot because that nigga was insanely dominant.
But I'll never forget what he did to the Cowboys first time he played them.
What did he do? Like three for like what, $140 and 3 TDs?
I think like 3 for like 155 and 3 touchdowns, something crazy like that.
Yeah, bro. This man's stat line was like 3 catches for like 197 yards and 3 touchdowns. Like, how do you even like that stat line was ridiculous? And that was at like halftime.
Three catches for $163 and 3 TDs.
Yeah, that's it. No, that's it. Yeah. Just hey, once that head goes up, it's over.
And all because Jerry Jones' stupid ass ain't want to draft him. That was some psychosis of the gambler right there. If you don't know who the gambler is, that's old cheese eyes. That's what our boy Ransom likes to call him. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck we talking about today. The Hornets are out the playoffs.
Yeah, I was about to say we could get into let's get into the play-in games.
Yeah, I ain't even watched the other ones. Brooklyn handled their business. That was expected.
Let me get this out of the way now. I'm glad you brought that up because the Celtics gonna lay the towel down for the Brooklyn Nets because KD and Kyrie was like otherworldly, and they barely beat the Cavs, who was missing Jared Allen, is like at peak form right now. So the way the Celtics are playing right now, Celtics are 5.
I think it's gonna be a 7-game series just because just because y'all lost Williams. I think if y'all had Williams, y'all probably would have packed them up in 6.
Robert Williams is coming back this series. They just said it yesterday. There's a strong chance he could be back by game 2 or 3 of this series.
I think the biggest difference is Cleveland don't have a Tatum or a Brown. Cleveland's point of attack is like Darius Garland doing his thing, but you put a bigger body on him and you can kind of mitigate that to a degree.
Well, nah, because he's and not like Atlanta has like world beaters on defense. But he kind of frying these niggas right now.
Well, right. That's what I'm saying. Like, they got Hunter, who's probably like their best wing defender. But like,
he is their best wing defender.
Like outside of that, they don't really have.
But what they're doing is between him and LeVert, they're doing what.
I forgot they got LeVert.
Remember when the Cavs played the Warriors and LeBron and Kyrie would just do that 1 and 3 pick and roll with whoever Steph was guarding. That's what they're doing to Trae Young because they can't hide him because. They start. Jared Allen came back. Then you have Mobley and you have Markkanen. So Trae Young can only guard LeVert and Garland. So whichever one of them he's on, they're just gonna run the pick and roll and getting him on them. And
having 2 7-footers that can stretch the floor on the court at the same time, and then another 7-footer that can just swat shot. They got 2 7-footers that can stretch the floor, and then 2 7-footers that can block shots on the court at any given time. That is it. Plus Kevin Love on the bench.
Man. Like I am preemptively pissed off by the fact that old man Brun is going to blow up this team because I am. Okay, I mean I'm just saying, but I'm so invested in the career trajectory of Evan Mobley because he's rare, man. Like when he reaches. I imagine a 25, 26, 27-year-old Evan Mobley is going to be scary.
I thought the Cavs and the Raptors were tripping with their picks. Like, just go on draft night. I'm like,
nah,
that's who you drafted. And then I seen them and like, I was a believer in Scotty Barnes when the Raptors played the Summer League in the Hornets, and Book had been cooking up to that point, and they put Scotty Barnes on him, and Book couldn't do shit. He couldn't do shit with him. He couldn't do shit with Davion Mitchell. I was like, okay, yeah, them two boys is legit. Like, but Scotty Barnes on defense, he legit. Like, he is legit, and Evan Mobley is, yeah, nah, he fire. Yeah, I don't think the Cavs are going to. I don't think the Cavs are going to. I don't think Bronny's a good enough prospect for them to like, because Bron can't get out of his deal until either after next season, and Bronny ain't coming into the league until 2024 at the earliest. So he might sign a 1-year deal somewhere, but I think he's just gonna re-up with the Lakers for 1 more year, and then he's gonna go where Bronny goes. Because I don't think Savannah at this point is going back to Ohio for a
year. she got to get out, just like y'all. She got to get out.
You can go. Me and Zuri will be here. Like I feel like that's exactly what the conversation is going to be like, and I don't think he wants to miss. Now, if wherever Bronny goes to play college ball, he might do a year there, like just so they're close, and then try to finagle that into. But yeah, I don't see him blowing up the core of this team because Brian was just being passive aggressive that weekend because he was pissed off that they didn't want to trade a 1st-round pick for the ghost of John Wall. But yeah, I think the Celtics are going to win. Brooklyn don't have the defenders. Like Bruce Brown is a pretty good defender, but he ain't doing nothing with Tatum and Brown. And
the thing that scared me with Boston is and they have been playing well since the All-Star break.
Probably been the best team in the East since the All-Star break.
Best team in the East since the All-Star break. Yeah.
But the thing that scares me with them is when these big moments arise, is Tatum and Brown going to show up at the same time? That has always been the problem with them. When one scores 30, the other one is scoring 15. Like at least with the Nets, like Kyrie, he gonna get you 30. He might get it on 50 shots, but he gonna get you that 30. And then KD is extremely efficient.
See, so I think the thing with that is because I think Tatum can get you 50, and I think Brown ain't gonna get in his way no more. Like I think Tatum is capable of when the big moment happens. If Brown ain't got it, I got it, big dog. I'm gonna go get us 50 because on those playoff runs they had before, the Game 7 against Brown, Rozier and Brown shot them niggas out the fucking game. They were right there.
Oh my god!
And Tatum is cooking, and he young, so he ain't like, hey, y'all niggas get the fuck out the way and give me the fucking ball. Rozier out there, irrational confidence all-star. Brown out there, not feeling it. He just shooting it. And it's like Tatum is every time he got the ball at the top of the key, he was just doing whatever the fuck he wanted with it. And nobody thought to go, hey, bro, we should probably get this dude the ball so we can knock Bron off. And they hung in there until they couldn't. And I think that's a product of one, Brad Stevens not being able, not wanting to go to his guys and being like, hey, y'all two motherfuckers stop shooting. Because you don't want to go in there confident, but you should do that with Rozier. I understand it with Brown, but you should have did that with Rozier. Hey, nigga, you ain't shooting no more.
Well, yeah, that's why I want to see the growth of Boston. Because I know what I'm getting out of KD and Kyrie, but for Boston, for your two superstars, is one of them willing to move out the way when the other one is hot?
See what I'm seeing now from this Boston team, and this is no offense to Jaylen Brown. I think he's a great player, but he knows that he's second fiddle, and so he could have a poor shooting game, but then you see him start to pick up and do the dirty work. They didn't have that before. It was almost like they were dueling back and forth, like Jaylen Brown was like, okay, I see Jason getting his, I got to get mine too. But no, when there are legit been games when Jaylen Brown has gone cold, but because he's doing everything else on the floor, you still leave him on the court. And also the addition of Derek White has done wonders. He's a great person to come off the second unit. And for some reason, I ain't gonna lie, I had bars for Peyton Pritchard and Naismith, but they are starting playing better. So yeah, I think when basically I really don't see I really don't see Jason Tatum being slowed down. And then especially when Jaylen Brown, like, because they have these defined roles now, and I think they were lacking that before. So
And
I think
also Udoka being willing to have the tough conversations with them niggas. Like Brad Stevens wasn't doing that. Like Udoka from the jump was like, hey, y'all niggas need to switch how the fuck y'all playing. And Derek White is another underrated like piece because he could come on the court and control the game. He's another defender. I never saw Jason Tatum like becoming a lockdown defender. I just didn't think he was going to do that. Like he has the athletic skills to do so, but I ain't see him. He led the league in defensive win shares. Now, defensive win shares is a flawed stat. It ain't perfect, but that's a pretty goddamn big deal to lead the league in defensive win shares. Like he's locked in. Brown has been a good defender. Smart is a good defender. White is a good defender. These niggas can put 4 good defenders on the court at the same time, and the Nets only have 2 offensive players.
they have legit been the like. I'm gonna be modest and say on the East, but they like since the All-Star break, they have legit been the best defensive team in the league. Well, excuse me, on these in the Eastern Conference. I'll be modest.
No. Since the All-Star break, they've been the best team, the best defensive team in the league.
I know. Like, I was trying to be modest, but yeah,
the numbers state that. Like,
yeah,
I'm not huge into like the advanced metrics. I actually got into a slight back and forth with a fucking Hornets fan who was trying to tell me how great a defender Cody Martin was, and I had to pull up the fact that Malik Monk, who Charlotte fans love to bash as a defender, is allowing 48.2% opponent field goal percentage and has 1.4 defensive win shares. Would anyone like to guess Cody Martin's numbers in that department?
I just know it's nasty, so tell it to me.
Opponent field goal percentage 47.5. Defensive win share is 1.5. He is the same player as Malik Monk, except Malik Monk gives you 6 more points per game, the same amount of rebounds, and shoots better from the field.
Like, let me say this too. Like, we could talk a lot about the Lakers and how they compile this roster, but getting a still very young Malik Monk on a
23
minimum was ridiculous because all of a sudden he miraculously has a breakout year
on a vet minimum because of the shit that Charlotte did to him. Like
exactly,
Malik Monk and his brother, who's his agent, they went in black. I didn't know his brother played football at Arkansas. Was a rival.
Oh yeah. Marcus Monk.
Marcus Monk is his older brother, so he's his agent. Either his agent or his manager, and they said like. Borrego went to him and was like, hey, man, we're going to transition you to the point guard. You're going to be the backup this season. Shit never materialized. They put shit out into the league saying he was horrible. He had horrible work ethic. He showed up late, even if he was like showing up late because he had treatment. Like they always dinged him for the small shit. And then he gets to LA and Bron and Vogel are like, nah, bro, we need you. And he has his best year. Like, and what I was telling the other dude was he was like, nah, he played more minutes. I'm like, yeah, but his usage went down. His usage went down. His efficiencies went up and his numbers went up. That means he's a better player now. Like when your usage goes down and your points per game and scoring efficiency go up, you're a better player now. Like that can't be debated. So that's why I laugh when people talk about how James Borrego develops players. Does he? He overplays a bunch of second round picks. Cody Martin plays 26 minutes per game. He averages 7.7 points per game. In his 10 starts this season, he played 36 minutes per game. He averaged 10 points per game. That's not good. Not when you're not affecting defense the way that they say he does. And he doesn't play touted like yesterday in his exit conference. He was like, yeah, I never dreamed Miles Bridges could be this good.
Really?
You as coach. Yeah, I didn't think he was going to be this good.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Like
I didn't either, but I ain't saying that.
Sometimes you be wilding with the hate, but every time I see one of his interviews, I'm like, how is this guy the coach of an NBA team? Because some of the stuff that comes out of his mouth, I'm like, okay, even if you felt that way, don't say that out loud.
This man said, yeah, I'm gonna have to spend all season to figure out how we get better on the second night of back-to-backs. Nigga, what? You've been coaching for 4 years.
That's something you figure out at like the end of fucking November, like when Chris time coming up, like the All-Star break. Like those are adjustments that need to be made then, especially like when you're in position to make a playoff run. Ain't no way them niggas fucked off all the way into the damn 9 or 10 seed like that 2 years in a row.
2 years in a row, and they got
2 years in a row.
got blew out 2 years in a row. And like finally Charlotte media is like, well, yeah, maybe the coach is the problem. You fucking think when LaMelo Ball's cooking and you sit him the first 5 minutes of the fourth quarter and cool him off and the team comes back and makes a run and you're like, yeah, I was trying to get some offense going. Melo was the offense, you fucking dickhead.
Yeah, I don't get his rotations. I don't understand none of that he tries to do.
Like it's so stupid. Like people like, yeah, well, like I've seen so many writers try to say Book Knight is a bust, and I'm like, how? When he played 15 minutes, he averaged 12 points and 4 boards. He was in the G. He played 7 games in the G League. He scored over 22 points in every single game but one, I think. And then his last 3 games in the G League, they had him running point guard, and he was putting up 25, 8, and 7. I'm like, what more do you want the nigga to do? Well, he don't play defense. Does Isaiah Thomas play defense?
Yeah.
You let that 5'9" nigga come in and get minutes, and we suddenly found minutes for that nigga where there were no minutes at the guard spot. Anyway, I just hope they fire this nigga. If James Borrego gets fired because of what happened in Atlanta, I won't slander Atlanta sports again until 2024.
Atlanta gave them the red light special, bro, all through the night.
Dog, it was beautiful. My little cousin, who incidentally has the same first name as Fee, he called me in the middle of the game. He's from Atlanta. He's a Lakers fan, but he's from Atlanta. He like, hey, cousin, it happening for y'all tonight. I said, nigga, have you been on Twitter? I'm not rooting for these niggas. I want these niggas to lose embarrassingly. And that third quarter started, boy. I was in this motherfucker clapping up storm like, let's go, baby. Zip them out. They out of here.
Bro, they started doing when that third quarter rolled around, they stopped focusing on the game and started talking about tributes to Archie episode. That's how bad it was. They were just like, this game is over. Let's just Atlanta, they got good chicken wings. Like they weren't even talking about the game anymore. I was like, this is embarrassing.
It was nasty. It was beautiful to me, but it was nasty. 2 years in a row, they'd have had the score from the last year's playing game up on the wall up on the entrance to the practice facility all season, and they just came out and lost worse.
I did, yeah. So this is how far this guy can take you. If this happens 2 years in a row,
he's the problem. And he's out there I'm not worried about my job, but the only other teams to improve over 10 wins over the last 2 seasons are the Suns and the Warriors. Well, the Warriors were basically tanking, and the Suns have one of the best point guards of all time and a transcendental superstar, and you niggas got Miles Bridges, who's terrible at rapping, and LaMelo Ball, and Terry Rozier.
He talking about 2 seasons in a row,
the past 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure the Cavs win total.
Well, not the year before.
Oh, that's what I was asking.
Yeah, the Suns went up 10 wins last year and then 10 wins from that. And then but I'm like, dog, it ended the same. What the fuck do it matter if the wins went up? That's not the same. The exact same way. You're still the 10 seed. You still got knocked out. Putting up 10, it don't matter. And the comp I use is Brett Brown. Brett Brown got Philly to a good place too. And you know what the niggas decided? Hey, bro, you ain't ever gonna be anything other than what you are. So let's go, even though it's Doc Rivers, but let's go get a coach who at least has shown that he can do something more than what you've done. I'll take Frank Vogel right now. I ain't even gonna hold you.
Yeah, Frank Vogel is a good defensive coach.
Yeah, like Frank Vogel is as far as NBA coaches go, Frank Vogel is a good NBA coach, but when you're coaching LeBron, it's a death trap. So you can't judge him by his Lakers tenure, honestly.
Well, no, I mean he got a championship out of that, so that's good on the resume. And when
he got a Mickey Mouse ring out of that, so yeah.
I mean,
it's a championship.
He got him a chip. It was a lot of anonymous. Goddamn, I can't say that shit today.
Anonymous.
It was a lot of shit like that happened that for him getting that ring. But nonetheless, he got a ring. Them boys is number 1 in defense. You get him the right pieces, he can make some shit happen. And I think Charlotte has a lot of the pieces there to be a successful franchise. But there comes a point in time where the players in the locker room, the coach ain't getting to them no more. If you start off hot and then you fizzle out to the 10 seed and you won't really have any injuries, that's coaching right there.
Yeah, like everyone's like, well, Hayward, but when Hayward went out, the team started playing better. Like that's and everyone people are like,
that sounds familiar.
Yeah, and everyone's like, we need to get a center. How the fuck you finna do that, bro? Miles Bridges about to get 5 years and 120 something. He ain't gonna get the full max because he's not a max player. He's not. He's a nice player. You got Melo's rookie extension coming up. PJ Washington actually is the team's best defender, like by a mile. He probably gonna get paid, and Brittany Renner somewhere waiting on the announcement.
She is waiting.
Rookie extension. You got to do something. Like you paid Rozier when you shouldn't have. And I'm dog.
I thank you for that.
The trade to get him wasn't bad because of what he developed into, but he shouldn't have got this last extension. Like giving him 4 years and $97 million was stupid when you just drafted James Bouknight. Like the plan should have been, all right, Terry, if you prove it, we might give you a small deal, but worst case scenario is he stinks and you got Bouknight right there, or he's good and you can offload him at the All-Star break maybe to help you get a center. Like the shit just didn't make sense to me. And now this shit's so damn fucked up. I'm gonna have to root for Devontae Graham tonight because if the Pelicans win, the Hornets get their first round pick, and if not, they get 2 second-round picks.
I can't really see him taking that many shots the way CJ McCollum been playing, and you have Brandon Ingram.
Oh, dog, the coach done relegated that nigga. The coach was like, "Yeah, nah, bro."
The only time he really get minutes is when like Ingram was hurt. Like, but he doesn't play. He doesn't really play that often anymore, which is good because that nigga's a bag.
I've been telling Hornets fans, if James Borrego was so great at developing people, what the fuck happened to Devontae Graham this season? Because that nigga's numbers fell off a fucking cliff.
Because he didn't get once CJ McCollum came over there, it was a wrap for him.
Once McCollum came.
Before McCollum got there.
Oh, but I'm saying that's the reason why they went to go get McCollum.
Because he stinks. That nigga's dirt. I've been telling niggas that the past 2, he's a volume shooter. There was no one there to push him. And all he did now, I think this season he's shooting 35% from the field.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Let me get these numbers right if I'm to get my hate off. Don't get me wrong. I want him to shine tonight. I want you to shine.
I can't imagine him playing more than 15 minutes tonight.
I want him to have the best game of his life in them 15 minutes.
Because even without Pandemic P out there, if they got fucking
Powell.
No, Reggie Jackson at point.
Oh, yeah.
And Devontae Graham. Reggie Jackson gonna fry that man, bro.
Saute. Speaking of, that's a good segue. Hold on, let me get these Devontae Graham numbers off. 76 games, played 28 minutes per game. Field goal percentage 36%. And we'll go off his previous year's numbers. Last year shot 38%, this year 36%. 3-point percentage, last year shot 38%, this year shot 34%. Free throw was 84 to 84. His assists are down 1, and his points per game are down 3, and his turnovers are about the same. If James Borrego develops players, why did that nigga get demonstratively worse when he went to a team that had a legit wing scorer in Brandon Ingram to help take pressure off him? Answer me that, America. Well, North Carolina.
Yeah, because in theory he has like fewer jobs on that squad. So how did he get worse?
All they needed him to do, and granted, Zion being there hurt because the plan was for him to stand outside the 3-point line and shoot whenever Zion drew defenders. That's all they wanted him for, was to be there with point Zion. But to the point about Tyronn Lue, somebody said Tyronn Lue was trash this season because he ain't make they in the play, and I was like,
whoa. Look, the fact that Tyronn Lue is even here with this team.
Them boys finished above 500. They finished 42-40. Got the 8 seed tentatively without their best players for 2 best players for most of these niggas out there with these niggas out there with Nicholas Batum.
Man, he was out here balling with like Terrence Mann and
Luke Kennard,
Ian Hartison, like
Isaiah Hartenstein, yeah. Like let's these are the cats who was out there getting minutes for them. Nick Batum, Amir Coffey, Covington got there at the trade deadline. Isaiah Hartenstein, Rodney Hood, the corpse of Rodney Hood is on this team. Reggie Jackson, Luke Kennard, Terrence Mann, Xavier Moon, Marcus Morris Sr., who actually has been hooping this season. Norman Powell, who got there at the trade deadline. Jason Preston, Jay Scrub, not a last name you should want as a basketball player. Scrub, that's up there with Stumbles, and then Zubats. And that man had them above 500 with the basketball version of Bobby Shmurda, Nick Batum, and Terrence Mann, and one of the Morris twins, basically as his most reliable rotation players for most of the season.
Yeah, that's silly conversation.
And that man ain't a good coach.
I bet the Lakers wish they had him.
Yeah.
And they talking about they want Nick Nurse. Man, Nick Nurse won this first round series. He ain't going nowhere.
Nick Nurse probably laughed out loud when he saw that report. He was like, ain't no way.
And go ahead, Fee.
Mr. Boxing One, he ain't going over there with them, bro.
Like, there's literally no benefit to coaching LeBron.
No. This stage of his career with that roster, no.
Like, and I want my son Malik to leave so bad, but he said he likes it in LA, and they could probably give him the full mid-level exception this season. But yeah, nah, bro. The Lakers ain't it, bro.
Nah.
That if I'm them, I trade AD.
Ooh.
They should have traded him last year. It's kind of too late now.
I think there's some small market team who will take him off the strength of, well, nah, he'll be fine.
Well, they're saying if you can move AD and Westbrook, which I think Westbrook is more likely to be moved, and they talk about Indiana as a place for him to go,
and Charlotte,
because they rebuilding
and Charlotte, yeah.
Well, Indiana. Well, if I was the Lakers, I would look at Indiana because you can get Brogdon and Buddy Hield, and that's not a bad haul
at all. That's all. That gives you a reliable ball handler who defends with LeBron, and it gives you a shooter.
You mean to tell me it gives you the player that Brun should have had at first, but he vetoed the deal?
Mm-hmm. And speaking of Laker fans, I know y'all like the report where Magic Johnson said, "Oh yeah, we could have had DeMar to do what?" Do y'all think the version of DeMar that y'all got scoring 35 on 50 shots on 50% shooting for however many games that was, y'all think y'all was getting that version with LeBron James on the floor?
Absolutely not.
I mean, to me, neither move made sense, DeMar or Westbrook, because of the way LeBron plays. And then the way Frank Vogel likes to use bigs, that's not enough spacing unless they're going to run the fucking triangle offense or something. Like, that's the only way something like that is going to work. But it didn't make any sense for him to go there.
None whatsoever. Like, people like, oh shit, the Hawks done tied it up.
Oh.
Hey. Trade day must be in full effect. But yeah, nah, like, stop being delirious, Laker fan. Like, listen, it was probably y'all. If the Pacers are willing to do that, and because it's probably gonna be Russ and THT and that 2027 to 2029 first for Brogdon and Hield, or y'all gonna end up getting y'all gonna end up getting some combination of Rozier, Hayward, and Kelly Oubre.
Ooh.
And that's nasty. That's nasty. To me, Rozier helps them the most because he's a point guard who can play without the ball, and his jump shot has gotten better. He just shoots it at the wrong time. But LeBron ain't gonna get that nigga the ball in crunch time anyway. So, like, it ain't gonna matter. Like, LaMelo will defer to that nigga because that's his big bro. Since he's been in the league, but LeBron gonna look at that nigga. Hey, bro, go stand behind the backboard. Lee said Hawks was getting whisper rap too, but they recovered. It's an interesting one. Yeah, nah.
The Yin Gang twins was out there talking to the niggas.
The Hawks slapped that hand away and said, "Nah, the movie on. It's an interesting movie."
I just want to chill tonight.
Nah. This ain't that.
Cavaliers seen them Grandin period panties on. Was like, yeah, I really want to watch the movie.
They walked in the bathroom and seen a tampon wrapped in some toilet paper in a little waistband in the bathroom while they was taking a piss. Like shit.
Hey, Cav started getting sleepy. Like, oh man, ooh. Dang, I forgot I gotta get up early tomorrow.
Got that morning shift. Let me get on up out of here.
Had that alarm go off. Like, oh shit, man, my homie stuck on the side of the road, Joe. I gotta go. Oh. Fee, are you optimistic about your Blazers, or have you given up on them?
Man, until we get rid of Nurkic, I really don't care what these niggas say to me, bro. They did say, I just heard earlier this week that they were gonna take Dame's input into building the team. So I don't know how that's gonna go because I don't know the type of niggas that Dame like, but we can't have no more CJ McCollums. And I like CJ, but you can't have a Dame and the CJ. Like you can't have two niggas who not playing defense in the backcourt. Like we need a nigga to defend.
Yeah, because what's wild about like that team is y'all was scoring like 130 points, but like losing by like 150. I'm exaggerating, but like really like okay, you go like they gonna get off, but at the same time, like who's playing defense? Like that's such a oddly like built roster. Like there's nobody doing the work.
The peak of them was that when they got to the Western Conference Finals, it offered like Dame's heroics for that playoff run, like the shot over PG. Like that was probably as good as they gonna get with that roster because we can't get a big that could stay healthy. Then the ones that stayed healthy was like Enos Cantor, but he's trash on defense. He's only a good rebounder. And then they got rid of Zach Collins, who was
Zach Collins.
He was a dirty work nigga, but they got rid of him for Nurkic, who can't never finish a fucking season. Like imagine if the Nuggets had traded Jokic instead of fucking Nurkic, bro. To the Blazers. Like imagine that, bro.
Dog, on 2K, I think it was 2K17. When I finally bought a PS4, my player ended up on the Nuggets, and we had Nurkic, and I'm like, oh, okay, this nigga get rebounds, so block a shot here and there. And in the middle of the season, these niggas traded Nurkic like to elevate Jokic, and I was like, hey, bro, what the fuck y'all niggas doing? Who the fuck is this Jokic nigga? It was me and the Michael B. Jordan nigga. I'm like, hey, bro, we just need a big to play defense, bro. Between me and him, like we got the backcourt handle. And that nigga Jokic started hooping. I was like, okay, all right. I think he won a skills competition at the All-Star game like that same year. I was like, okay, yeah. It's something with him. He shouldn't be winning MVP this season though.
Nah.
I ain't mad if you do. I honestly think Devin Booker should win the MVP, even though he's not. I mean, I'm from the old school. If you the best player on the best team, and you average 25, 5 and 5, them niggas always win the MVP. But for now, for some reason, that shit don't matter no more.
Yeah, to me, I think it's Embiid just because of what he carried them niggas without a legit second option for most of the season. Well, they're still without a legit second option.
But Jokic did the same thing too.
I mean, yeah, but that's actually a good point. I don't even really have a rebuttal for that.
And then Jokic's numbers are also like the advanced numbers are better than Embiid.
Okay, so who has the better second option for most of the season out of them? Are you taking Maxey or are you taking Gordon?
I'm taking Maxey. Aaron Gordon is a bum.
Nah, Aaron Gordon has hooped a little bit this season.
Man, but Aaron Gordon be going out there playing 30 minutes, getting 5 points, bro.
Oh, the Cody Martin playing.
Nah. I'm sorry. Maxey hasn't been a more consistent number 2 option all season for the Sixers. Like to the point that, like I think Maxey was averaging like 15 before Harden even came there, and then once Harden came there, he took off and stepped it up another level. But for the Nuggets,
because Fat Lever ain't got it no more.
I mean, for the Nuggets, who can you honestly say was hooping for them other than Jokic?
Bro, this man Jalen Rose said Harden out there putting up tour dates 3 or 13.
Oh yeah, that
4 or 15.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, Fatty Mills. He said he ain't taking off the fat suit this season, bro. That's just nasty, bro.
Nasty.
But I mean, and honestly, I wouldn't be mad at Giannis getting the MVP either, just because of the at coming down the stretch. Him versus Embiid, he showed Embiid up. I think he beat Kevin Durant and them too. And he was like making like defining moments in those games, like the block on Embiid, like the game-winning shot on the Nets, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't be mad at Giannis, even though I think Jokic is going to win it.
Yeah, Jokic is going to win it. I would go Embiid, but at the same time, like, it's weird with Giannis because he's hit that peak where he's like so damn good that people like just expect that they're just like, okay.
It's the Karl Malone MVPs of this shit. Like the Karl Malone MVP was like, well, Jordan can't win it every year, and then that strike shortened season where he got it when the Spurs won, because it was like, well, all right, yeah, you can have that one. But like I do think when we look back in 10 years when Giannis is like teetering off, it's gonna be like, how he didn't get more MVPs. You're gonna look back at the two.
You're gonna look back, yeah.
Because the one last year with Jokic I got, because Giannis had, once you win regular season MVPs, if you don't do nothing in the playoffs, you ain't gonna win regular season MVPs no more. But
I mean, you can honestly argue that Giannis is getting treated how Jordan was getting treated and how LeBron was getting treated. Like, look at the things they're doing. Look at the things his team is doing. But then you're looking further down the East. Like, to me in the East, how do you look past Giannis and go look at Joel Embiid when their numbers are similar, but Giannis's team is in a better position? And the same thing in the West. Like, Jokic has phenomenal numbers, but look at Devin Booker, and then look at Devin Booker when a most important player went out in Chris Paul. He stepped it up even more to keep his team afloat and keep him with the number one seed by like 6 or 7 games in the Western Conference. Like, I don't know how people just overlook that.
No, that's a very good. I think Booker is gonna get rewarded with a first team All NBA, which a few years ago you probably would have never said about him because he was, good stats, bad team guy. And the fact that they got Mikal Bridges, who was just an all-world defender, and Jay Crowder and DeAndre Ayton, like him and Chris Paul can just orchestrate the offense. And I think those years he spent playing point guard, the de facto point guard of the Suns, like prepped him for Chris Paul going down. Oh yeah, I'm used to this. But I don't have to worry about playing defense or nothing. So that is a very good point. I think with Giannis versus Embiid, the argument I would make is Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton are better than probably everybody on Philadelphia pre-James Harden arriving, which even though, I mean, we talking about the ghost of James Harden at this point. But yeah, I think he's going to get first team All NBA, which is important for his career. But yeah, I just would have went Embiid just because he looked Herculean this season. Like, he looked dominant. And I ain't no scientific effort for that, but the nigga just looked dominant.
I mean, he did, but again, once he got James Harden down the stretch, like when him and Giannis, that was to me kind of like my deciding between them two. When he didn't dunk the ball, like, when you that big, you dunk the ball, you put a nigga in the basket and he laid it up. Like, on a play like that, Giannis made a defensive play. Hey man, you lose MVP for me right there. And then, not to mention, when they played the Nuggets, Jokic fucked Embiid up too in that one-on-one. So to me, that dropped him to third and maybe fourth.
Hey, I'll forever respect Jokic off the strength of the story with him and Gobert. Y'all know that one?
Nah.
Gobert was guarding him in a game, and like the Jazz was sending over help, and Jokic said, Gobert said, "Nah, I got it." And Jokic calmly leaned in to Gobert and said, "Brother, I have 47." He forever getting respect from me off the strip. Like that's like the Tim Duncan. That's trash talk. Where like someone said Tim Duncan would do things like, "Oh, you almost had me. Nice try." Like the subtle trash talking, like leaning back, like when you posted to do the brother, I have 47, and then just scored another basket.
Hey, do not be nice to me when you busting my fucking ass, man. Do not, man.
Lee said Giannis is averaging 30, 11, and 6 with crazy moments on both sides of the ball. Embiid has the second strongest case, in my opinion. He has the deepest bag, but Giannis is scary good. Yeah, no. Giannis is it's his league from now until he decides it's not anymore.
Well, that's why I lean Giannis. Be like he said, the moments, like that block on Embiid, that was crucial. And then how we penalize a nigga for his team. Like, I mean, I get it. Like I do understand because Embiid he did a lot to keep the 76ers in that top half of the Eastern Conference. So I understand, but like I just start like when I start nitpicking, I'm looking at the head to head. And so I'm looking down the stretch. Okay, Giannis has the bigger moments to me down the stretch over Embiid.
So like I will say one thing that like I think the NBA needs to do, every league needs to do this, is we need a most valuable player and a most outstanding player. Because oftentimes the two things are conflated. Like the NBA needs to add a most outstanding player so you can give it to the dude who's just like, yo, you are legit the best player in the league right now. Because I had a point and I forgot we had transitioned, but like because it pisses me off as a former Bulls fan whenever people say Derrick Rose shouldn't have got the MVP that season. It should have been Bron. Hey, nah, fam. That nigga starting shooting guard was Keith Bogans, bro.
Nah, bro. And
they won 60 games with Keith Bogans as the starting shooting guard and made it to the conference finals. The backup was Ronnie Brewer.
Nasty work.
That's nasty. That is the starting lineup was Joakim Noah, the ghost of Carlos Boozer, Luol Deng, Keith Bogans, and Derrick Rose. And you knew Derrick Rose was gonna have to score the ball, and Lou would get some other shit. But like, even though it was a gentleman's sweep with Miami, man, them games was close until the fourth because all they would just put LeBron on that nigga, just be like, hey, Brian, just go erase that nigga. And if the nigga made it past Brian, guess who was waiting on him? Dwayne Wade. Why? Because you don't gotta worry about guard Keith Bogans.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I just made all this work. I made it past LeBron. Oh, here's a shooting guard who is also a great defender waiting right on me. And if by some miracle I make it past that, Chris Bosh is sitting in the lane, who was a pretty decent weak side help blocker.
Well, you kind of strengthened my argument for Devin Booker with your D Rose precedent. Like, again, we have Devin Booker, best player on the best team. His team is much better than that Bulls team, but look at the numbers he's averaging. Look at the niggas who won MVP averaging that in the same scenario, and they would get that shit every single time. I don't like how how it changes, like what people use to give a nigga the MVP. It changes every single season.
Oh yeah,
depending on who you want to get it.
It's a narrative. So
it's a narrative.
So let's do like a thought exercise here. If they had an MVP and an MOP this season, who would you give each award to?
MVP, I would get a Devin Booker. Most outstanding, I probably would lean Jokic.
See, I would say Giannis for MVP, and most outstanding, I would say Jokic.
So I would probably go Joel MVP, and then I would probably give most outstanding to Giannis. Because I think what Giannis just did this season was just outstanding, independent of his value to his team.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I feel about like Jokic's numbers, especially when you like. That's where I think the advanced numbers could come in and help differentiate who is the most outstanding. because in all those advanced categories, Jokic is like probably like top 4 or 5 in the majority of those numbers.
Yeah, no, he is. And you made a very good point about Jokic. Like when you said the second option thing, I was like, damn, I really can't.
Bro, Bones Highland was
Bones
the leading
Highland.
scorer
Bones
oftentimes off the bench.
Dog,
Bones,
that was an answer on Pirtle. I had to go look up who that nigga was.
yes, bro. Bones Highland.
Who the fuck is this nigga?
I think Monty Morris. I think that's a nigga on their team.
He's somewhat decent though. Like he ain't.
Oh, but these are the nigga Will Barton. Like these are the
hey, hold on. I shouldn't even say this, man. But my barber is also Will Barton's barber. And he said when Jamal Murray went down, there was no nigga happier than Will Barton. Because he said if you go back and look at that, like that nigga Will Barton like actually stepped over Jamal Murray. like the levels of hate here, man.
Hey, that's beautiful.
Hey, niggas like that, man. I done played with a few niggas. Like in high school, I played soccer, and I ain't gonna say this nigga name. That nigga he'd be in practice trying to injure niggas so he can get into that starting back 4 on defense, bro.
Hey, bro, I wish James Bouknight would do that to Cody Martin. I wish he just underbridged that nigga accidentally.
Hey, niggas like that don't deserve no success in the sporting world, bro. Like, you need to go be an announcer or something.
Right. It was like Will Barton said, "This is my time."
And it's still not. It ain't do nothing but make Jokic better, bro.
Hold on. Didn't Will Barton's numbers go up this season?
I'm sure they went up, but it wasn't nothing like super crazy.
Yeah. Atlanta got this now. I think Cleveland just shit the bed. It's 95-89 right now.
Yeah, I'm watching.
Yeah, so Atlanta turned on that trading places by Usher.
All right. So before we hop off basketball, get to our rap topic that we had. Who do y'all have in the in the first round? What 4 teams y'all got advancing on each side?
Ooh. Milwaukee, Boston. I'm undecided about Toronto and Philly because Tybal is not going to be able to play when they go to Toronto. Yeah. And I don't know if James Harden is going to show up. I don't have faith in that nigga to show up. So I'm leaning Philly, but I'm just going to say it's going to go 7 games. And then the Heat, I think the Heat are going to – if Atlanta wins, I think they'll probably take a 6, but I still think the Heat is going to win. Out west, I have the Suns. I'm leaning the Nuggets, depending on Luka's calf. I think that's who they play.
Nah, they play the Warriors.
Oh, I got the Warriors then over them. Who do the Mavs play? The Jazz.
Jazz.
I got the Jazz, and then who's the other game?
The other one would be
Memphis and I got Memphis.
Memphis and Minnesota.
Minnesota gonna get ran, man. They're gonna be taking them boys' draws down, bro.
Yeah. So I'm with Fee on everything, but I think a series like Toronto or Philly just ultimately comes down to coaching. I'm taking Toronto.
Yeah, I same except. Well, not yet. Nah, Luka ain't going. I was going to pick the Mavs over the Jazz.
Nah,
the fact that Luka ain't playing that Dinwiddie ain't bringing you enough. So yeah, those are my picks as well. Same as y'all, except I'm taking Toronto over Philly off the strength of a short Drake. So Lee says Boston, Milwaukee, the Raptors. This is a pure hate pick for me. I love it. The Heat, Golden State, Jazz, Suns, Memphis. All right, that's reasonable. All right, so if you have Facebook, you've probably seen people putting in their statuses about raps. I have a miniature rant when we get to one of these, but it's on the favorite rap song part because that should say favorite hip hop song because if rap is a form of expression, it's not a genre. Like I can name a Linkin Park song. I can name a country song that has rap in it. Like, there's no genre called sing. Like, if someone, what you listening to? Oh, you know, this sing shit. Nigga, what? And I went through the top 40, and at least 10 of the songs had a rap song in it. And I don't know that all of them were hip hop songs. I just don't know the rest of them niggas because I don't listen to the fucking radio. But that's my only tweak to this is, you know, not putting in not putting in are we going in we just going through each of these one by one, or we all gonna go down our list?
Yeah, let me pull up the list again. Hold on.
All right, Fee, you want to start?
Yeah, let me find it. Greatest rapper of all time. I've stated this many times. It's for me, it's Jay-Z, just due to the longevity, being able to reinvent himself so many times. I think he is the GOAT. He raps good enough, but he's commercial enough. Like, he just checks all the boxes, like, mainstream wise. So he's the GOAT.
Yeah. You won't get an argument from me on that one. It's Jay.
Yeah, I'm taking Sean Corey too.
I'm leading the league in all statistical categories right now. Best flow, most consistent. And my interviews are hotter.
Hey, what he said that he sounded like that nigga Joe coming from the wreck, bro.
Speaking of, I meant to say Joe's not with us because, you know, he's doing some load management right now. Pause if applicable. He had a back-to-back on the show. It was like, nah.
He had a back-to-back. He was like, nah, I need my legs.
All right, so favorite rapper of all time. I think I can guess Fees.
I'm gonna go with Currency because he's probably been my favorite rapper for from 2008 until basically now. Like, that's a span of 14 years. This nigga has been my favorite rapper. So
that's who I thought you was gonna say. Mine is Lupe.
Yeah, see, there's a split for me, and I'm embarrassed about, like, and I know, like, this is like absolute favorite rapper, but to me, like, these two like define like major moments in my life. So of course one would be Lupe, and unfortunately the second one is a nasty nigga who is currently attempting stand-up comedy, but is failing at it.
Yeah, no. It's Lupe.
Lupe. Yeah, Lupe. Yeah.
Favorite current rapper.
My favorite current rapper, oh man, it's probably Starlito. He probably since 2011 or 12 and on, he's been able to hold my attention. So he's probably my favorite current rapper.
I am going to say Sean Smith.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go with see, like, there's several directions I want to go, like Westside Boogie, Vince Staples, but I'll probably go IDK.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad. Deontay Hitchcock is like a close second because I was on that nigga YouTube channel, bro, and like his concepts for his videos, like I love the visuals he puts out for his song. Like that last little EP he dropped for Valentine's Day, he got a whole like mini movie where every video is connected for the song. Niggas should check that out if they have.
Oh yeah, that's dope.
Favorite woman rapper.
Missy Elliott. Like no respect to L Boogie, but Missy Elliott.
I'll probably say Eve.
I'm probably, just because I don't listen to a ton of women rappers. Definitely not today's crop. I'd probably say Rhapsody.
Bia. Big Lotto.
Hey, Lotto fine as hell, but I don't want to listen to her rap. Favorite rap group.
You can skip me. You already know my answer.
Outkast.
Yeah.
I'm rolling Little Brother.
Okay, I ain't mad at it.
Favorite trap rapper for me, that is nobody. I don't listen to it, man.
I'll probably say Chopper Mandel. Like it's in the name. That's my fucking guy right there.
Yeah, I mean, I already stated mine. It's the nasty nigga.
Favorite rapper under 30.
Hold on, let me check this before I say mine.
Little Baby for me.
Sean Smith again.
Damn, I because he just turned 30, so I can't say it. But fuck it, I'm gonna claim it anyway. Smino.
This nigga. Favorite storytelling lyrics. I'm just gonna assume this is a song.
Yeah, I would say probably I Got a Story to Tell by Biggie. But I got so like I could go with Meet the Parents. I can go 3 Sides to a Story with Joe Budden. It was like probably like my top 3 right there.
I'm either going Meet the Parents or Freight Train by Budden.
Nasty work, but it's more of a scheme than storytelling, but I still think it tells a story. But Lupe Pressure, how he sets the theme on the first verse and then it spills over into the second. So
That ain't no damn story.
no, like this nigga's telling the story of like like
you.
I said it's more of a scheme than a story, but I'm sticking with that.
Most underrated. Big Boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. For me, I'll probably say Currency.
Most overrated.
Ooh.
Wayne.
Ooh. Oh man.
Those two were the easiest for me. Most overrated and underrated. Well, and favorite rapper.
Overrated. Oh man, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say J. Cole is probably the most overrated, just because of the fans, and then not even because of him.
See, that one was easy for me just because people be calling Wayne the greatest rapper of all time, and it's like, bro, he's the T-Mac of hip hop.
Put some respect on T-Mac though.
Well, yeah, nah, that's true.
Yeah, I know.
His peak was shorter than what T-Mac's peak was, and his lows are way lower than what T-Mac ever was on the court.
Like taking what the word mean itself, like niggas gonna think I'm wilding with this, but I've always held this belief, Jadakiss.
I mean, given what New York niggas
You don't think Kiss top 5 that are alive?
See, exactly. You
don't think Jadakiss is as hot as it gets?
Man, somebody pointed out something on Twitter. I think it's 3 Letterman. He was talking about there was a time when Jadakiss was going around. He didn't say this, but he said it. Like he was like, there was a time when Jadakiss was going around basically rapping like Young Dro, saying what every color of his whip was. Oh my damn.
He was on that DJ Who?
Mm-hmm.
Favorite producer?
I'm
going Pharrell. For my money, he's probably the most versatile hip hop producer maybe ever. Like we just think of all the shit he's touched, but I like it. I like what he does anyway. So for me, it's Pharrell.
Since we're on hip hop, like because like my favorite producer of all time probably like Timbaland. Like even though like it's hard to go against the Neptunes, but I still lean Timbaland. But since we're on hip hop specifically, I'm gonna go with The Alchemist.
Favorite producer? I'll probably go with Pharrell as well. But I'm not mad at any of those.
Favorite rap album of all time?
Of all time.
This was the tough. This and the last one were the toughest. I landed on Food and Liquor just because, like, if you told me that I could only listen to one hip hop album for the rest of my life, I would probably. I'm taking my Food and Liquor vinyl on the desert island with me.
Favorite rap album of all time. This is tough. I don't know. Either. Man. If I had to take, I'm taking Country Grammar. That's probably. I love that album, bro. I know that bitch word to word, front to back, bro. I gotta take it, bro. But Blueprint will probably be number 2. But I'm taking Country Grammar.
AT for me. Yeah, because that like it's like everybody has those albums in their lifetime that really just changes the way like they view things or listen to things. And to me, is AT Aliens like nothing has sounded like that since. Like there have been like attempts, but nothing has sounded like that since I've heard that album. So AT Aliens.
And finally, I'm gonna change the phrasing, but favorite hip hop song of all time. Because again, favorite rap song is like nigga, I could say "In the End" by Linkin Park, and you wouldn't be able to refute it.
Blondie Rapture. Yeah.
Who?
Blondie Rapture.
I don't even know the
Favorite rap song. You know Blondie, the
you were
disco.
You were being facetious.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So for me, this one was probably the toughest, just because like I can name a bunch of like just hip hop songs that I've just like never changed. Allure, theme music to a drive-by, Sing for the Moment by Eminem. Like there's so many 10 minutes by Joe Budden. Like there's a ton that I could just like name out. But I'm gonna go with, just because when I think of a song that makes me go, this is hip hop, it's what Lupe did with Ignorant Shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't be mad at that. I can't be mad at that at all.
All I Need by Jay-Z is probably like my favorite like rap song. Like
I was listening to that on my walk earlier.
Yeah. So I'm going reasonable doubt. I'm trying to make my mind up if it's the evils or regrets. I'm gonna lean the evils because the evils second verse is like one of my favorite verses of all time. And just how he basically like layer cakes that entire scheme throughout that song. So I'm gonna go the evils. So yeah, like the storytelling on there is immaculate, and like yeah, like the verses are crazy. So yeah, the evils.
Dear God, I wonder, can you save me?
We used to fight for building blocks. Now we fight for blocks for builders to make a killing and close. Yeah.
Yeah, nah, I am not mad at that one bit. Yeah, it's a cool list. It's been interesting looking at like, because mostly my classmates have been posting the shit when I look on Facebook to go delete my old posts. That's really the only time I get on Facebook. And everyone has had like, the consensus has been like Jay-Z is GOAT. So that has been interesting to see. Although I think Jay is like more Kobe than he is Mike. It's just the hip hop ain't ever really
Yeah.
Because I don't think you can go to a year where Jay-Z was like the undisputed best nigga in hip hop. He just happened to be like number 2 for so damn long.
I mean, honestly, he could be LeBron. Like if I'm being, because when it's all said and done, LeBron is gonna have damn near every like important record in the NBA. But it's because he's been playing for 20, 21.
I mean, but you know who that dude is that just has all the raw numbers for hip hop? It's M.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, as much as people
talk about ability, you talk about like,
oh yeah,
like all the numbers. Because that's the thing, like that LeBron fans love to say. LeBron is better at playing basketball than Michael Jordan, and he's going to have better numbers when it's all said and done. Well, that's M. M is technically a better rapper than almost anyone who's ever lived, and he sold the most records in hip hop by far. I think there's been 9 hip hop albums that have gone diamond, and he has 2 of them. And
the only ones moving in units is M, Pimp, Juice, and Us.
Yeah. I think only 5 of those albums weren't double albums, so he has like 40% of the hip hop albums that truly went diamond, not double albums that sold 5 million copies. So, like to me, M is Braun, because Braun fans are super annoying, and the Eminem fans who will tell you that Eminem is the greatest hip hop artist of all time are super fucking annoying.
Man, them niggas will go tell you to put on Rap God, bro. Oh, man. Nobody wants to hear that shit, bro.
Nobody.
Not one soul.
You don't want to hear that bullshit, Sharif. So yeah. Or Jay could be KD. Because when you just look, you're in awe at what he does, but there aren't too many years you can point to where KD is just the absolute hands down best player in the NBA.
And then every time it's his time, somebody else just come and it is the new number one. Like that nigga Nick Wright said about that nigga. Said that nigga KD like a career number 2 nigga in the league, bro.
Which really ain't even fair because it's like, I mean, yeah, but being on the other side of like two of the most freakish athletes, and he himself is a freakish athlete. Like he talked about it on the JJ Redick podcast where he was like, the reason why he's never gone for 60 is it's just like I could, but like why? I can be efficient and get 50. You know, he's like, so he said for him to keep himself motivated, he like tries to find guys and play make more on offense as opposed to just because he's like, I'll pick and choose my spot to win because I don't want them to just straight throw double teams at me. I want to keep them honest with the pass. And I said, you know what? I can respect that.
Yeah.
Because to go 17 for 23 and have like 55 points is like pretty damn absurd. Like him and Kyrie are probably the only two dudes in the league that can do that. And they just have to play. So, we got anything else?
I'm just gonna say this too, man. I've been I know we spoke about it already, but I've been riding around listening to it more and more this week. Yeah, Sir Vincent Staples, he got one, man. Like every time I listen to his Sparks Fly, I'm waiting on that time where like it gets old to me, but it hasn't happened yet. And I play that song like multiple times each day. Like phenomenal album, man. I just wanted to say that again.
Yeah, I've had to like whenever I get in the car, I just cut that song on.
Yeah.
Like that song is fucking amazing. Like the chorus, I'm not even sure what the fuck they said on the goddamn chorus, but that shit be stuck in my head.
Yes.
Hey, my shit is that Free the Homies when them niggas be in the background talking about that one wish shit. I'm like, yeah.
If I had one wish,
yeah, that I was like, man. That when that song come on, I just get a good feeling. Like that shit just it take me to a real happy place.
Like this album is like a less upbeat, like when Victory Lap dropped, like how it was like you listen to it and you like, nah, nigga, this shit is fucking phenomenal. Like this album is the same way. I don't think it's like because Victory Lap was kind of a moment. Like the highs were so high. And there's a few tracks on there I don't really fuck with, but the ones that I do like when you throw on that first track on Victory Lap, it's like
well, see, I think with Victory Lap from the person like where he was and where he was coming from the underground, the trajectory he was on when Victory Lap released it, like it plateaued him at the right time. Like he was like the right person at the right time, and time kind of stopped for him.
Yeah. I like there isn't like a blue lace. Well, Sparks Fly would probably be like the blue laces of this joint. But like, yeah, the highs are so high on Victory Lap. But to me, Ramona Park Broke My Heart is more consistent. There's not too many peaks and valleys. Like you get to where it is and you just kind of stay there. It's a slight dip. Like with Victory Lap, it's like we go here and then it's like a couple joints.
It's like really high,
and then you go up again and then you come back down. With this, it's just like nah. You want like a straight up curve that doesn't take you too high or too low. It would be a very boring roller coaster. For this one, because even East Atlanta Prayer, when that shit come on, I gotta let that shit.
You gotta let that ride.
That shit rock, and then what's the other joint?
Shit, Player Ways is my shit.
Player Ways, yep.
Player Ways.
The ending of it, man. Rose Street and the Blues.
Yeah.
Like I had them joints on there. I'm like, yo, I do not remember. I think it was because I was so impressed by the first part of the album that when those songs was coming off, I wasn't really like paying attention no more. I was just like, yeah, this album is it. And then I let those two rock the other day, and I'm like, yeah, this is really it.
Yeah, I've been telling people too. I'm like, hey, bro, y'all heard that Vince Staples? Niggas like, who is Vince Staples? I'm like, oh, hey, go get in tune with this nigga. And I think he's not going to get the acclaim that he deserves because he's not that popular in the
he don't want to be.
Oh,
you don't want to be. Yeah,
I understand that. Like the clip about him coming to his house, I felt that nigga. Like,
yeah.
like that was the realest shit I seen this week. Like, hey, nah, that nigga spitting right there.
What you coming to my house for? For what?
For what?
I'm not cooking for you. We don't need to kick it here.
Yeah.
Nah, I feel that because I don't be liking motherfuckers being in my crib either.
Only the family, bro. That's it.
Yep. Yeah, but yeah, if you haven't checked that out yet, I know people who watch this show probably checked it. But if you ain't checked it out yet, like, watch that shit, man.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
Listen,
like we should start like keeping a running list of album of the year, or at least the albums that drop. So when we get to the end of the year, we're not fucking scrambling.
Oh no, I've been doing that. I got I have a running list of 2 things this year: the anime I've watched in 2020, which I'm up 2022, which I'm up to 26.
Oh,
where I have watched every episode of this anime that is currently available in 2022, and then album of the year. Yeah, I got my running list.
yeah. Across the board, like content has been better, and you could tell like people were holding back because of the pandemic. Because yeah, like even thinking about like TV shows that are being released this year, and also music that's being released this year. Because like the previous 2 years, I've been scrambling to find like 10 albums I like, but here I am like at the near midpoint of the year, and I have probably like 5 albums that I like really like this year.
Not even the near midpoint. We just started the second quarter of the year.
We just started. Yeah,
and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 albums already that I'm like that I like feel like could end up in my list. The only one that I immediately put the honorable mention was Fight Dog because I thought it was a good album, but I don't think it's like
damn. I still gotta check that out.
That release. I mean, I don't think you're missing that damn much. But yeah, like I've got 11 albums. Like Corday probably ain't gonna end up in my top 10, but I'm gonna revisit it before the year's out. Robert Glasper's album was fucking crazy. I listened to that shit. Lucky Day shit was good. The Cool Kids double joint, not the original joint.
Mm-hmm.
Benny, Alex Isley, Vince Staples, Crit Dizzin, Wiz, like it's mad fire shit this year.
Yeah.
So I for one am grateful. But yeah, I definitely heck is if another one. If you into R&B, Matt Keen and Esther.
Hey man, I was about to add this Lucky Day, but why is this nigga on here on this cover?
That cover wild, man. Even though the album is fire,
I can't put that in. Like I can't. Yeah. But that nigga dirtbag, he bring it back R&B. Like that nigga baby mama be on there talking about he ain't trying to pay no child support for their child.
Hey, that's how you know he the one. Like because when you get to that that track like used to be,
I'm a downloader, but he wild as hell for this.
Nah, I just listen straight to straight. I can't put that in my library, big dog. You doing the D'Angelo on the album cover? I can't even do it, bro.
Like, I can't do it.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about what they was doing, but yeah, this I'm gonna check it out.
Also, friend of the show, Lee dropped his Everything Everywhere All at Once video essay. I'm gonna check that out, even though I ain't seen the movie yet. I'm waiting on that shit to hit streaming services. But the Fake Critic on YouTube, go search for that. Lee does very wonderful video essays. Like them shits are like legitimately good. I watch them shits even if I don't watch the movie because you know me, I'm Wikipedia records with everything that I don't watch. But check that shit out. It's I haven't seen it yet, but I'm assured it's quality work. Just off the strength that I ain't never seen a bad video essay from you. So make sure y'all check that shit out. What are we doing on last week's episode? Now the severance is over.
So first, I want to shout out to everybody who watched our severance recaps. Like this is like our most successful like recap across the board. Like we hit like record numbers with these. So if you watched, shout out to you. D and I, we kind of have an idea of what we want to recap next, but we're gonna wait and see. Like I'll let you know off the air, but yeah, we kind of have an idea, and then Cordy and I probably will do the the Kenobi series in May. But we got something coming up like later this month too. But we'll let you know if we decide to go with that. But yeah, thanks for listening. If you haven't checked out Severance, please go check that out and check out the recaps as well.
Yeah, whenever either Foundation or Ted Lasso comes back, I'll re-up on my Apple subscription and check out Severance because I can't do it.
No, it's fire, man. It's fire.
Oh no, I believe because Foundation is fire, but
yeah,
again, can't do it. Can't win with them. Yeah, check out thekidswearcrowns.com. Follow us on the Twitter. At the KWC blog. Please subscribe to our YouTube page. Leave us a like. Twitch.tv/FeeBaby. Still on the Madden narcotic. I thought you was gonna give up after you won the Super Bowl.
I gotta defend the title, and there's one more nigga that I need to beat in the bowl. So if he makes it, I gotta beat him. And then I'm moving my team to London. I'm moving the Browns next season. We're gonna be in London. We probably gonna do the London Black Knights. We're gonna be in black and red uni. So I gotta see that through, bro, because they got so many Jordans on the game for cleats. So I gotta see how my boys is looking in the black and red, bro. We coming back.
I'm moving the Eagles to the Demopolis.
You could at least move them to Tuscaloosa, man. Demopolis. Y'all even got a stadium down there?
We got Tiger Stadium outside of the high school where legends are made.
Y'all got Tiger Field. Nigga, that's
Tiger
grass.
Stadium.
That's some grass. That's some grass with some bleachers on it.
Nah. Like we got if we don't got nothing else, like Demopolis has like A1 like sports facilities because we're a football school. So yeah.
Don't do that, Ron.
What?
NFL will blackball you. The owners ain't approving that.
Well, they only got certain cities that you can move to in on the game anyway. They like pre-selected. I don't think I'm sad to say Demopolis is not on there.
Hey, I'll move us as close as we possibly can. Then.
I don't think Birmingham on there.
Mike Wilbon said when they realized the USFL was playing the entire season of Birmingham, he was like, "What is this? The Paul Feinbaum League?"
Paul Feinbaum League.
I'm about to go check a game out there. I was gonna go tomorrow, but it's supposed to be thunderstorming.
Yeah, when does it start? It starts this weekend?
It starts tomorrow. The first game is tomorrow.
Oh damn! Yeah, I gotta check that out. Yeah,
getting some use out of that new stadium.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm supposed to get a haircut downtown. I hope it ain't too early. Fuck.
Oh no, you probably be straight. I don't think the stadium near the barbershop.
No, it's not.
You should be straight.
I just want a whole bunch of people downtown taking about a goddamn parking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We'll be back. Well, we're taking next week off, probably. Don't expect us to be here next week. We might, if we pop on, it'll be a pleasant surprise. But we might be taking next week off. This is probably the longest we've gone without taking a week off in a while. So kudos to us. But yeah, we'll be back either next week or the week after. Same bat time, same bat channel. 1, 2.